welcome back to more Disco Elysium. In the last episode, I finished up here in a dream sequence, apparently, at the end of the first day, so let me see what I can do. I can't pull up my inventory to grab my flashlight or anything, so we'll have to go through the mist on our own. It looks like all this is kind of blocked off here by the mist, so it's guiding me towards the body. Makes sense. Got a little disco ball there.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Islas. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do, even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots of the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too, so soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head, like clockwork, barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Morning already. Everything always feels so familiar in that sense.
Good going, buddy.
I just had the most beautiful dream. Uplifting, rejuvenating.
Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What the hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline.
Wait, what is speed?
Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect. Ready to go to war against the world.
I need to get more of it then. Detecting is my life.
Of course. Martinez is speed central. You just gotta poke around. Follow your nose. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time, it will be different.
Alright, I need to find some drugs, of course. My drug-addled detective. Let's see how we're looking this morning.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
So these are still very low. So I can try to fix the faucet with the chain cutters. Okay. Let me equip those.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned
Still pretty low
with the
chance.
expression. The faucet is quite terribly mangled, but you just might be able to twist its parts into place.
28% chance success, man.
You handle the chain cutters deftly, applying just enough pressure. The faucet regains a recognizable shape. The steam stops. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. Everything is connected. Everything has a purpose. The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it.
Okay, I need to put points into encyclopedia. Or I could do this. I need electrochemistry. I think I have gloves that give me a little bit of electrochemistry. Let me try that out. So yeah, these gloves give +1 electrochemistry. And this was interfacing, okay.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore.
Still
It's
very
your face
low.
in the mirror, adorned with the expression.
Let's try it, I guess.
It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it.
Alright, that's enough for now. Actually, I don't know why this door gets highlighted like this. I still can't interact with it. I think it leads into the next room, so... Alright, let's get out of here.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
The what now?
The living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It wants smokes.
Let's do it. We need a smoke first thing in the morning. Am I a smoker?
Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously.
But you broke it at the filter. I can't smoke that.
How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. then smoke them all.
The idea seems to make your neck expand. Suddenly, the garish tie feels very snug.
Like a cat rubbing itself against its owner's calves. A cat that wants you to smoke a lot.
I'll make a priority 1.
Good. They'll make you stronger and better. You're too old to be cool now. But find cigarettes, smoke them, blam. Instantly a cool renegade man. A mystical red dragon with smoke rising from his nostrils. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
So there was a shop that sold cigarettes. I could try those. I cannot interact with that door.
The door is closed.
Let me knock again.
Still nothing. Still nothing. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside.
Alright, so nothing to do there. Let's go downstairs. Very interesting. There's a whole group of people here. Good morning.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
He points to the mess hall doors. Why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the Dock Workers Union. The belt used for hanging him. The circumstances in Martinez. My preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them. And it won't be easy.
What do you mean by rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardie Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
There are so many of them. Maybe we should call in for reinforcements.
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
Let's roll.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Okay, let me look around here. Maybe let me talk to the bartender.
Can I help you?
So, looks like he's only interested in my bill for tonight. About my bill for tonight.
Got the 20 real?
Not yet.
Then why are you wasting my time and yours?
Alright, fair enough.
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager appears genuinely apologetic.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
She turns back to you with a weary smile.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Let me see. Howdy, Lena. What's kicking?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
A faint smile tells you she appreciates the effort, but at the moment her mind is on more serious matters.
The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Why did you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances out the window toward the bay. What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that.
She smiles.
Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
You mentioned traps. Could there be some problem with them?
I doubt it, sweetie. The traps aren't big enough for humans to get caught in them. They're for the insect. Anyway.
She looks around.
Do it. Find him. This will surely lead to a mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, please. Some science fiction is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation.
This does sound like police business. I'll help you find your husband.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but...
I've already given my word. I'm honor-bound to uphold it.
If you say so.
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel.
The water lock on the canal is broken, so your husband is probably just stuck on the other side of the coast.
Oh my. What happened to the water lock?
Probably just some technical problem.
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
The quest for knowledge is never over.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired, and it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let you know that you're here. I'll let him know that you're here, when or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
Tell me more about Morel. Looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
What does your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. and his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did the two of you meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She smiles wistfully.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah yes, Phasmatodia, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah, here comes the interesting.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us officers.
She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have?
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
So is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Then is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
Okay, what's so special about this stick bug then?
Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special.
The woman's face flushes with embarrassment.
Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids. So 92% chance here.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey Lena, I would like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me about a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Okay, Kim, just one little cryptid. Promise.
He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Cryptids, cryptids. Let's hear about all the interesting cryptids. Ooh, tough choice there.
Interesting. Let me hear about the most dangerous cryptid.
The gnome of Jeroma.
She pauses for effect. The gnome of Jeroma, that doesn't sound too bad.
Oh, it is. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
What did this cryptid look like?
It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a gangly little thing. Quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very little species?
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
Seems very convenient that it just disappeared and nothing like it was ever seen again.
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they are least likely to be found again.
What's the biggest cryptid?
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
Right, okay, we can move on for now.
I'm glad you see it that way. Did we have anything more to do here?
That's all for now, ma'am. Alright, I want my cop to have some sort of integrity. The tomatoes are so thinly sliced that you can see through them.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
By the way, we speak Revacholian in Revachol.
Speak Revacholian?
This man is a foreigner.
We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian language. But don't worry, your message remains clear.
The cook is still smoking, ash falling from between his fingers. His hands are large and clean.
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity.
I don't think I need anything else. Okay, very good. Actually, I forgot what was back here.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Yeah, I think I was still trying to get that open.
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
You're lying to me. You're not a gardener?
That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
She crosses her arms.
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardie? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does.
She points to the man on her right.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What's your role in all of this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
What if I want to talk to you and not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
Let me see what I want to pick here. I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the Union's plans?
Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
What are you going to do to me? The lieutenant is not satisfied with the approach.
What are we going to do to you?
It's a cold laugh, devoid of joy.
The Union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
I should talk to Titus then. Okay. First of all, let me get some of that money. Just gonna steal it. Photos of men in overalls. Chest and down he goes. You see hawthorn bushes outside. It's a bowl. They're spitting it, reeking of tobacco. Let me look at the journal here. So, I need to find speed and sniff it. Of course, the hangover is coming on mega strong now. You need more speed in your bloodstream. Find some, put it in your hand, equip it in the held slot in your inventory, and off we go. And then I need to find smokes and smoke them. You need to get your hands on some cigarettes and then smoke them for the massive bonus. Find a pack, put it in your hand, equip it, and smoke it. It'll do the rest. The aging cryptozoologist has been out in the reeds for too long, and his wife Lena is very worried. Maybe you can find him when you happen to be on the coast. Okay. So I guess let me look at this window here.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Perception is very low because it's not time yet. This is a white check that I can retry later. Let me squint.
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
Well, if I can recheck it, I might as well try.
Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn, nor does the light come in from this window.
Okay, let me revert my gaze. I took a morale damage there. Oh well.
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with his beer can.
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. Let me not say anything yet.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
Okay, the chatter is too inane to reach your ears. Raise your chin and gaze into the distance like a prince.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
The little guy looks at his mates in disbelief.
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We're looking for Titus Hardie.
The lieutenant turns to the broad-shouldered man at the end of the table. First, we need to talk about your attitude.
Wow. The RCM sent us some big dick cops.
Real big dick cops. Look at them. Reckless. Swinging in the wind.
Yeah, look at the big dick on that cop. Can't tell a dick that big what to do.
Must be something in the water in Jamrock.
Yeah, gave him real nice big dicks.
Yeah. Anyways.
He wraps it up.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them.
The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
So, you're not just here to swing your big dick. You're here for the pretty boy. A real looker, that one. Stinks like shit, too.
He shakes his head.
They couldn't get him down, boss. He's still up there, stinking up the place.
The small guy smirks.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
You're involved somehow. I just don't have proof yet.
Well, maybe you should just fuck off then.
What are you doing, officer? We had enough questions to keep this going.
You should have kept pushing if you had something.
Guess what? I've come upon something incriminating.
Incriminating? Now that's a big boy word.
He puts his beer can down. Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yes, why?
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
Aha, so you just confessed to murder?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Let me see what I want to go here. Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Kohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade, right here in our bar.
The man spreads his arms.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special Forces?
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
He points at the stage.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Okay, besides crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wipes spittle from his mouth.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
He cracks his knuckles.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information.
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Liver Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
The man shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted? Raped, you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
He repeats like a parrot.
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
Right, but who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation.
No, you're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Let me see what else I want to ask him. Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardie boy without arresting all Hardie boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts her head.
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Let me see. I don't have to. One of them was more complicit than the others.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. Not for the officer making an arrest. Which we all know you won't be. What you can do right now is go back to your station and write a report.
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
We need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
The small man points at you.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
Let me see. Let me try this. It cannot be retried. I'll try it. Things aren't quite right here, are they?
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, crackling under pressure.
Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Wasn't he a trained killer from Oranese Special Forces? If yes, then how did you manage to overpower him?
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Where did this overpowering happen?
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
I like this loudmouth guy. He's gonna slip up eventually, I have a feeling.
This one has a distinct style. He puts so much whiny emotion into everything he says, it's hard to see if he's lying. But he could be.
Right, I have other questions about the lynching.
Like what, Copper?
When did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
The fixer turns to remind Titus.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long had you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah. Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for Wild Pines? The shipping company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Let me see. Let me go with... You murdered him just like that, huh? No remorse.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
He says it as if it were worse than dying. What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
And why don't I just arrest you? Step closer to Titus.
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
He takes a step closer as well, fixing his ball cap.
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
His mean little eyes come alive with hatred.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you.
Easy now. Let's just talk.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now make another one and get the fuck out of our booth. We're not gonna do this again.
So what are we going to do now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop? So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals. Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
Let me scan the room.
No. I's here. You got business with my boys. You got business with me.
He understood what you were doing, taking inventory of them. Now watch the other guys fuck it up by falling out of line.
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardie boys, you fuck with Titus Hardie.
Shouts the scrawny rat-faced man, 2 teeth missing in the front.
Yes, falling out of line to please him. This is the best kind. And now this guy is going to...
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Says the 40-something man from the corner with a plectrum hanging from his neck.
Use it to take a dig at his friend. Floodgates open.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck.
A blonde man in his 30s agrees.
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
You notice gang tattoos. The man must be either Mesk or Semerizian.
This one knows how to keep things going. He's a hothead, but not one to be taken lightly. The last one is a bit of a black sheep.
Yeah, you're not even being fucked, Dennis.
The fat guy in the middle lets out a little chuckle.
Easy, fellas. We got company. Let's see what brings the cop around.
Too late to stop you. You've already got them all, including the old bearded man who's smart enough to smoke instead of talking.
The old bearded man?
As you can see, he doesn't speak a lot, and you almost missed him among the others. That's enough to take another look at those tracks in the yard. See if they fit this band of miscreants.
Still cannot establish authority, so I'm going to take off now. All right. Let me take a look at the journal here. Still have to prove my authority. You have to gain authority in Titus's eye before the investigation can advance. Soften him up first. Maybe investigate the crime scene or the body. Look for a witness. Get help from the union boss or the company rep. Tie them to any other crimes. Very good. All right. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. I think things are going to start to get very interesting now. I'm enjoying the game a lot. I don't know how it is from a viewer's perspective, but hopefully you're enjoying as well. Thank you for watching. Leave a like on the video. I greatly appreciate it. See you guys next time.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.